right, everybody, what's going on? How y'all doing? Thank y'all once again for tuning in to Street Therapy KC. I'm your man Chris Jackson, sitting here high in the air chair. Today we're gonna have a pretty serious conversation. It's something that plagues our community, black and brown community for the most part. Hit us pretty heavy, and I think it's something that we need to discuss. It's one of those things you hear about it, you kind of sweep it under the rug and just let bygones be bygones and things like that. But today we really gonna try to tackle this thing head on. This will be the first of, I hope, the first of many conversations about what we're gonna talk about. But without further ado, our conversation is gonna be about high blood pressure. Talking about high blood pressure, diabetes, and things like that plague our community. We know over 40% of black males suffer from that. That's a pretty high rate. Now that we die from that, organ dysfunction, the whole nine. So I got two guests that's in the studio with me, and we're gonna just tackle this topic as much as we can for this 55 minutes we got. So I got ladies first. I got Mrs. Vita Claire on my left.
How are you?
My right. I'm sorry, my right. Yeah.
Wonderful. Happy to be here.
Absolutely. And I got my man Blinky on my left. Yes,
What's
indeed.
up, people? How y'all doing today?
Absolutely, yeah. So we're gonna jump into it, man. So we're gonna start off with Blinky, man. With you and I talked a little bit about high blood pressure and things like that, man. Tell everybody a little bit about who you are and where you're from and stuff like that.
Well, my real name is Mitchell.
Mm-hmm.
But I go by Blinky, name my grandmother gave me when I was a little younger, running around here and, doing what little kids do. Yeah. You often get a nickname by somebody in your family. And
I got one.
Mine happened to be my grandmother, and she named me Blinky.
Yeah.
And actually, I got two other cousins. One's named Winky, and one's named Dinky. And so we all like a year apart. I don't know. She just came up with it somehow. People used to be like, "Ain't that the Pac-Man or Winky, Blinky?" And I'd be like, "Man, I was born in '75, so I'm sure it was way Pac-Man didn't come out to like '80 something, like '85 or I want to say something in the '80s, but I don't know exactly when. But
right.
I know I was before that."
Yeah, so y'all could have got that money for that.
Yeah, hey, y'all owe me.
Right. So yeah, man. So you from Kansas City, Missouri?
Yes, sir.
Born and raised.
Yep.
Okay. A little bit about your upbringing. Your grandmother named you Blinky, man. You kind of was out there running around doing your thing, man.
Man, yeah, forever running around. Once you get older, you start developing a mind of your own, and no matter what people tell you, they always tell you to do good stuff, but you turn it to yourself and you end up doing what you do.
Gotta be your own thing.
Right.
Yeah.
So you gotta learn. Some people can't learn from just telling.
Right.
Or just somebody telling you. Mm-hmm. Some people can't. But unfortunately, I wasn't one of them persons. I had to get knocked in my head a couple times to learn. Yeah, exactly.
My parents used to always say some lessons are better bought than taught.
Man.
Yeah, that's interesting, man. So, Mrs. Vita, a little bit about you, who you are, and where you're from.
Well, I'm Clara Dean, a.k.a. Vita Claire, of Vita Claire Naturals. I am a master herbalist. I've been working with not only this community for quite some time now. However, prior, I'm from Wichita, and I grew up in California. So pretty much everywhere I've lived, I've served, I just have a wealth of knowledge to share. And I think that it's, time I've developed myself, and I feel comfortable, coming out more so in the public and sharing, because most of the time when you know me, you've been referred, because, I don't solicit, I'm referred so that I'm working with the people that want to work with me, so.
Yeah, and she busy.
Oh, now, of course, over 20 years, you rack it up because, once you get one,
right,
especially if you have a family member, for
Right, right.
instance, that has been ill for quite some time, and they see them recover, they want to know who you are,
The
you know, what you
success-
got, you
the
know.
success-
So
yeah,
like you get
yeah.
a whole family like
Yeah.
that, you know. So a lot of my clients are whole families, you know.
Success stories. Those
Oh
success-
yes.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
yes. You know, I'm my biggest success story. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That's good.
Tell us a little bit about your success story. What do you mean by that?
Well, I worked in the aircraft industry. You know, I'm an aircraft sheet metal mechanic.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the trades. Because
Boeing?
I'm one of those jack of all, whatever,
You said
whatever's
Boeing?
available.
Yeah. I guess Boeing's in Wichita,
Well,
right?
I wasn't working for Boeing. Actually, when I started working for Raytheon Aircraft.
Oh, okay.
Now I think it's Beach. However, I worked there for a couple years.
Mm-hmm.
But in the time I worked there, I came in contact with very powerful chemicals that you use to clean the planes down with, seal the planes, these sealers, different things of that nature.
Right.
And you know, hindsight is 20/20. You know, never read the fine print.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've been guilty of it, and that was one instance because they do let you know in that industry you could actually get cancer from the chemicals that we're using.
Mm.
And so for like the first year that I, you know, worked there, I was very exposed to the chemicals.
Right.
For 6 months, I was doing pressure tests.
Mm-hmm.
That's when they actually pressurize the plane, and you're cleaning and listening for leaks and
Right.
sealing with that lethal
Yeah.
sealer and solvent, and you're trapped in the plane. You know, it's pressurizing the plane.
Right.
And so, like, literally, you have to go outside and breathe,
Breathe.
for an
Yeah,
hour.
yeah, yeah,
They
yeah.
give you a special break just for that.
Jeez.
You know, so I had developed a nervous system disorder
Wow.
from just that small period of time being exposed to the chemicals. So
Mm-hmm.
by the time I figured it out, what was going on, I already had stopped working because I had became pregnant. And
Right.
my husband at the time didn't want me working that type of job anymore.
Right.
And so I just quit. And then,
How long were you there?
like I said, about 2 years.
About 2 years. Yeah.
And I tell you what, when it finally came out in
Yeah.
my skin, it came out in the nervous system where I would lose like 65% of my skin, my face, my hands. I brought pictures to show you some
Yeah.
of the, you know, that. And, you know, all areas of my body pretty much was affected at one point
Right.
in time or another,
Right.
you know, from
Sheesh.
the different outbreaks that I would have to the point where I was so debilitated that I was put on Social Security
Mm-hmm.
because they said, you know, you're not going to be able to work. You're going to take this to your grave.
Mm-mm.
And so, you know, I had allowed myself to use, I used some of the pharmaceutical products for a couple years, and I realized after researching some of the things that I was using, how deadly they were.
Right. Side effects.
Yeah, yes, side
Yeah.
effects wise. So I started to refuse to using them, you know, and I had to figure out something else. And,
Right.
you know, fortunately, I come from a family of herbalists.
Yeah.
I'm the 4th generation.
Yeah.
I actually took it further than anyone else, pretty
Wow.
much that I know of in the family. However, I grew up around herbs.
Right.
And so I had to find alternative ways to heal myself. And this took years to get my nervous system back in order.
Yeah.
And even my skin, every now and again, I have a small breakout, but nothing like when it first happened, you know,
Yeah.
and throughout the healing process. So just working with my body and doing the different supplements and cleansing processes and things to build my body back up to where it is today, you know. And people, they can't believe what I used to look like, what my hands used to look like. They cannot believe it.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Man, so you literally had to almost doing those Lisa Left Eye situations, man, where you had to go somewhere
Yeah, and get
figure
healing.
it out and get
Yeah.
healing, you know.
Dr. Steve,
Yeah,
Savy,
exactly, yeah.
I couldn't
yeah.
afford to go nowhere, so I had to figure it out
That's what I'm
myself.
saying, yeah.
Shoot, I was laying in the backyard with oils on my face, with crushed herbs,
What?
laying in the sun, trying to get healed.
Yeah.
You know, when I first started off, but then I started developing the creams and
Right.
the tonics and being more refined in my craft. And, you know, like I said, with some of the knowledge that the family already had,
Absolutely.
and then some of the mentors and studies,
Yeah.
hours and hours and hours of study,
Yeah.
I developed different ways to, like I said, different products to heal myself.
Yeah.
And then at the time, I was in the United Nation of Islam at one point, and it was like 500 parishioners. So as I was healing myself, others were coming.
Right.
And I was like, well, can you do this? And can you do that? And
Right.
so it was like I was studying this, and then I was studying that.
Yeah.
And so actually getting the opportunity to work with people one-on-one, it developed, the craft much better,
Absolutely. Yeah, you did that. You was a test dummy. you was a test.
self.
You was a test person, which was good because you actually figured it out, and you're still working on. You're still figuring it out as far as getting yourself healed. Now you say you had a little breakout here and there, but for the most part, you're pretty much healed from that. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a journey because when
Yeah.
you are exposed to certain chemicals, it goes deep.
Yep.
It's on a cellular level.
Yeah.
So the different chemicals or what have you actually coat the cells, especially they're petrochemicals. You know what I'm saying? Imagine
Right.
if they're like petroleum. If you have with the motor oil, how it coats the engine,
Yeah.
it's petrochemicals.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah, I used to
You know what
work
I'm
on cars, and I could never get the oil out my hands. I'd be off for on my whole vacation. I'd be off work, man. I'd be sitting there scrubbing. By the time I get my hands clean, I got to go back to work because
Yeah.
vacation's over. So, yeah, petroleum. Yeah, I guess it does, man. It kind of binds to your almost your DNA, like
Well, because
who
when
you
you
are.
think about it, we're a whole conglomerate of cells. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? We look at it like you look at yourself in the mirror and you see a whole body.
Right.
But when you go to the doctor and they want to figure out what's going on with you, they look under a microscope at you because you a conglomerate of cells. So, so imagine if the vapors that's coming off these different products, if it's a rubber, what do you think that vapor is going to solidify on your
flesh.
cells as? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's in your
Yeah.
bloodstream. That's what that means. You know what I'm saying? And if you got dangerous chemicals where you got vapors coming off of those and
Right.
it's getting in your skin and
Right.
all this stuff like that, what do you think it's doing to your cells? And your cells mean you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
once you get exposed to something in one area of the body, that message is being sent to the rest of your body, and it replicates.
Absolutely.
That's what our body does.
Yeah.
It's constantly making new cells, but
Absolutely.
it's constantly sending new codes out.
Yeah.
Every time if I take a sip of this water, it's gonna
Yeah.
send a different code. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
my cells have been, oh, you got water now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The same thing with all the different things that we come in contact in the world. And I thought, well, how am I going to, if I was to share, how would I share, you know? And we all are plagued by the same thing pretty much. From one degree to another. It's not a race thing, it's a lifestyle thing.
Yeah.
You know, and here in the United States, it don't matter what race you are. We all do the same thing. You looking at, if you in the McDonald's drive-thru, you can look in your rear view, and it'll be all kind of racist people behind you trying to get a Big Mac and fries.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so we are exposed to all this processed foods and different chemicals in the air and water and chemicals we put on our skin when unknowingly thinking that it's good for us.
Yeah.
Like Vaseline, for instance,
Baby powder.
baby powder,
Man.
baby oil,
Been using that for years.
Yeah.
petroleum on your hair, weed, petroleum. That's petroleum.
Was it back?
Polyester is your clothes. You
what's
know what I'm
it-
saying? Like that. And we
They had
coating
the
ourselves constantly.
lie and the perm, that lie stuff.
Oh
the
yeah,
perm
back
was
in the
steam.
Malcolm X days, he put it on his hair. He was
Yeah. Got the S curl going on and the Jerry curl back in the day.
You know, I had
Scoop.
one of my clients was telling me that he knew a new mortician, and he said, "Well, why are these people dying of heart attacks or whatever?" He said, "Well, you know, when I peeled back a lot of people's scalps, he said a lot of black women have black spots underneath their scalp from using all them chemicals, and that's be one of the things that be killing them." And I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
Yeah, they had
you
something
would
on
learn
the-
something new.
on the radio or something.
Yeah.
If you ever use this and now
Yeah.
it's affecting you, call us. You can get a
how you gonna be able to?
They had
look
something about
yourself?
that about the hair stuff the other day. I heard.
Yeah.
I was like, dang, this.
Now imagine how beautiful we all would be if we didn't wasn't bombarded with chemicals,
Yeah.
and how long and beautiful our lives would be.
Yeah.
You know, if we didn't have to worry about that
Yeah.
all the time. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Well, we chasing the image, and whatever that image is, it you know, it's an image. That's what an image is. It's just that, you know, and it don't work for everybody. You know what I'm saying? It just don't, man. And certain things, like you said, things affect people different ways. Like I can eat a cheeseburger, and it may go straight here. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody might eat a cheeseburger and it goes straight to their butt, their thighs. You know what I'm saying? So it goes wherever. That water, you said, the water does it. Goes through your body, goes where it needs to go. It circulates through it, and it does its job.
Right. So
Yeah,
so at least we have alternatives. You know what I'm saying? Things, but you got to work on yourself, and you got to know that you're worth it.
Know thyself. Yeah, and that's important.
Yeah, I feel that.
Indeed. Blinky, man, you got a story, brother, man. We're going to tap in with you, brother. So your story is, man, we started off talking about high blood pressure interfering with your body, and we went to the, like the molecular structure, which is dope because we need to talk about that. But you yourself battle with high blood pressure, and I battle with that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's funny, you and I talked, and I was like, man, let me think about this because it ain't no joke. You know, doc say, hey man, you gotta do this. I'm like,
Man, you better do it.
yeah.
That's all I can say.
Yeah, so talk to us, Blink. Man, you that was your battle with that, man?
Yeah, well, it started out me having diabetes.
Yes, sir.
You know, I was 18, fresh out of high school. Went to college.
Yeah.
And I had a biology a lecture class. Well, I had biology lab and lecture, but in my lecture class, it's like, flip the book to this today. We're going over diabetes and sickle cell. You know, so my professor's up there. It's 340 people in the class, you know.
Yeah.
So, everybody flipped their book over. No, he's on the board.
Right.
We're going to go over diabetes today.
Yeah.
These are the symptoms.
Yeah.
Always thirsty, frequent urination, some dizziness, wooty woo woo woo.
Right.
I'm sitting here with my pen. I'm like, ooh, I got that. This,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah,
Got
yeah.
that. I'm like, close my book.
Yeah.
I didn't even say nothing. Bye, hi, see you later, or nothing. I just got up, went straight to the school, the nurse, like, hey man, we've been studying this and that. I had all these symptoms. Could you check me out and see what, you know, because I was feeling all of it. So
as he was talking, you was checking the boxes. He was like, whoa.
I was like, man, whoa.
Yeah.
Red flag.
Yeah.
I got up, went to the doctor, school nurse. Said, can you check me out? They like, yeah, we gotta take your blood and gonna check you out. So about 20 minutes later, they came back. They was like, man, your blood sugar is 700 and something. They like, we surprised you talking to us right now. I'm like, what? Tears start coming down my eyes. I'm calling my mama.
Yeah.
You know, she's my lady, my everything. I just call her, woo, woo, woo.
Yeah.
Mama, I got diabetes, mama. They told me,
Man.
she like, boy, you shut up, boy, shape up, you know.
Straighten up.
You know, so-and-so got this, you know, your auntie so-and-so, your uncle so-and-so, and your, which is my dad's side.
Yeah.
You know, all my dad's siblings basically got it. My dad don't got it, so it skipped him, and I got it. My little brother, which is by my dad,
Right.
not my mom, my half-brother, but my brother.
Right.
He don't got it either. So, it just skips around.
Yeah.
It just skips around where it wants to. Like,
Right.
before 18, no, I didn't have nothing.
You didn't notice nothing. No.
Little chubby kid running around doing whatever, And then so this was like a wake up to me,
Right.
So I'm, what am I gonna do?
So about your father. So did you have a close relationship with your father?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just like,
Okay.
it's kind of weird. My grandpa, which is my dad's father on that side, he was what they call it, wherever he lays his head is his home.
Rolling Stone.
Rolling Stone,
Papa
man.
was a rule. Yeah,
Right. He
yeah.
had kids here, kids there, kids by
Yeah.
this woman, not to say nothing bad, but
Sure.
that was just his life.
Right.
You know, I guess he was a ladies' man back then. He's a little pretty guy,
Yeah.
half Indian and
Yeah.
mixed with white and whatever else. And
That's
so he
the
was
with the good hair.
yeah, with the good hair,
good hair.
exactly. Yeah. So he had his choice and whatever, you know. So I knew my family like that, but I didn't know like that. You understand what I'm saying?
You didn't know the
I didn't
history
know
part
auntie
of it.
had this, auntie this, that. I just know they was auntie.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, till I end up getting this disease, and then I end up seeing like, oh, they got this, and they, you know, they take insulin. I take insulin, and, you know, so that's basically how I found out
Right.
it ran in that side of the family like that. And my dad's mom, she had it too. Ended up going blind and,
Wow.
you know, getting stuff amputated like I have today. So,
Yeah.
you know, basically that's how I figured it out.
Yeah. So you're bout with diabetes. Now, now how rampant is diabetes in our community? Could you speak to that?
Wow. You said it right, rampant.
Yeah.
One of the things I want to point out is that, you know, we say things run in our family, but what we have to understand is the reason why it runs in our family. And the reason why it runs in our family is because majority of the time, the family eats the same things, you know, has the same type of habits and things of that nature. And then plus you come from your mother, the mitochondria. So if she got a weakness in her family, in her DNA, it's going to be passed on to the child, most likely, unless she changes something in the way that she's, raising the child, you know, as far as like feeding and things of that nature. If they eating the same thing she eating and she's sick, the baby gonna be sick.
Right.
So that's just how it runs.
Right.
So you got to really think about things logically and the reason why they're happening, and trace them back to the reason why they happen, or the root of it, and everything like that. Because we call things diseases, and you're right, they are diseases.
Diseases, right.
However, the idea is what caused your disease, because nothing comes from happenstance. You know what I'm saying? There's always a source to, or a reason, or actually a conclusion to everything. You know what I'm saying? So
Like a pattern.
a conclusion.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You go take some poison, you gonna die.
Yeah.
That's the conclusion.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you're eating these types of foods, if you're taking in certain type vibrations, meaning thought processes and things of that nature, all that bombards the body. And if you do it over time, keep happening, everything keep hitting your body. Of course, certain parts of your body are going to start to break down. Usually the first thing that is the heart. That's what people having problems with their heart first.
Right.
Majority of the time. Unless there's a dietary thing that's going on, like I said, or a DNA thing as far as a weakness in the body that's causing this certain idea to come forward first. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But there's others to come. You see what I'm saying? Because it's all a domino.
Right. So when we speak about what we eat and our diets and things like that, we know oftentimes in the inner city, first off, we don't have a whole lot of healthy grocery stores, but we don't have a whole lot of healthy restaurants.
Right.
You know, you can just go out here and find 2 or 3 McDonald's within. And a Church's Chicken over here. So having that limitation, and there's a bus route that runs through, 7 different intersections. That's for a reason. So that's for a reason, because people oftentimes don't have cars. So, when you work, when the mom, maybe a single mom or a single father, but, when they're working their job and they want to get home, they want to just wind down, they want to get done, they want to go to the grocery store, find somebody to take them to the grocery store, or get on the metro, say, you know what, I'm tired, I don't feel like cooking, get something to eat. You know what I'm saying? The kids want to play sport, want to play football, basketball, whatever case. The mom is spent.
Go get this, fast.
Gotta go get this for us. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, okay, well, I know to do better, but everything around me is not looking like that.
Well, you just gotta want to,
Yeah.
know, more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I realized what kind of chemicals I had came in contact with even before the breakouts really started, and I was pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought to myself, well, I want to be able to cleanse myself enough and nourish myself enough
Yeah.
to be able to have my child not be sick when she born.
Sure.
You know,
Absolutely.
and I knew the risk, and then my children like 9 years apart. You know, so I hadn't had a child in a while too.
Yeah.
So I went vegetarian. That baby was a vegetarian baby, and I started taking a lot of supplements, but more so on the herbal side, because I realized that even researching the prenatal vitamins and things that I was going to be taking, that they wouldn't absorb that well. You know, so I wanted something that was going to nourish the baby, properly, nourish my tissue, so that when she building off my tissue,
Right.
it'll be right, So that's what I ended up doing in the Bear Witness. It works, like you said, hereditary or heredity. I have my uncle on my father's side of the family. A lot of them had poor diets. They had a lot of pork, different things of that nature. And then I had an uncle and my father, which they didn't.
Right.
The only two out of the family.
Right.
All the other ones passed first
Yeah.
of illnesses, same thing. Diabetes, high blood pressure, then turning some kind of cancer.
For sure.
And my father, he was close to 90 when he passed, of natural causes, never been on a medication or nothing.
So it's that whole skip thing you
Right.
talked about.
And then his brother that passed right before him, well, was not right before, maybe about 10 years before or so, he had changed his diet when he was in prison. So even just that small amount of time,
Yeah.
it prolonged his life much longer than their siblings.
Yeah. Yeah. That small change.
Just from that change.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So did you notice, since your kids were 9 years apart, and one was primarily just kind of, I guess you can say the Western diet, and then your other child was kind of pretty much vegan when you started doing
we're
vegetarian.
vegetarian.
Did you notice a difference between maybe their demeanor or how that went?
Well,
Was one more sickly than the other one, or?
no, I had the benefit of having very healthy, the first two children.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm the fourth generation herbalist in my family, my mother being the one before me.
Yeah.
And so we were those children that got
Yeah.
lined up
Yeah.
and got to take this
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that and this and that. Or
Tablespoon and
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
Right. Or the fenugreek tea. Or we went, harvest the eucalyptus in the wintertime for our colds. And so I had a little knowledge already. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
absolutely.
So I also passed that on to my children as well. But allergies and eczema and things of that nature, that's prevalent in the family. But that's also indicative of a weak liver, because it's coming through your skin and your liver, same organ. You know what I'm saying? So got something going on with your liver. That's why you see a person with liver damage or cirrhosis of the liver, whatever, their skin get all dark and everything.
That's
It's
good to
because
know.
showing your skin. You know what I'm saying? Or get them dark marks right here. That's liver right there. So it's just knowing what those different indications are, because we ain't supposed to look like that. We ain't supposed to be. We're not supposed to look like that.
Like the
Right.
raccoon eyes and
We ain't supposed to look like that.
The deep dark up
Yeah,
under the
like
eyes.
Boosie.
It
Yeah,
took
it
a
used to be
long
like,
time for me to
I
get
got the
those shadows
raccoon
from around my
eyes.
eyes
Yeah,
too, because
like-
I definitely did have them at one point, and I knew it was my liver, because I was that was one of the issues of being exposed to that chemical.
Right.
Was the
Liver damage.
The liver,
Liver damage.
yeah.
And so I always noticed like a shadow around my eyes for a long time. Took a long time for that to go away.
So our skin talks to us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Our bodies talk to us, period.
Yeah.
You the only you that you are, you go and let somebody else tell you how sick you are.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And you
yeah.
already know.
Yeah.
So
You know what you're feeling.
Right, but the problem is that we're not taught as children about our bodies, so it's all a mystery to us. And by the time we become adults, we so busy, we sure not gonna revisit that. So we just hoping that when we go to the doctor for whatever we going to the doctor for,
Yeah.
that they was gonna be honest and help us.
I was scared
And
of
you
the
said
doctor.
hoping. You so
Hoping.
right. You said hoping. That's facts.
But you know what I'm saying? But you do really need to educate yourself, because 9
Yeah.
times out of 10, when I do speak to people, I ask them, have you read the side effects of your drug? Nope.
Dope.
Nope. The
9
doctor
times
said
out of 10.
take 2 of these for
Man, call me
for
in
the
the
next
morning.
14 days and call me
Yeah.
next week. Tell me how you feel.
Yeah.
He said, "Oh man, that's not working. We'll up the dose." They
But
up
that's
the
what they
dose.
had told me, like about blood pressure.
Yeah, it's awesome.
You know, a couple of my friends I used to run around with in California.
Yeah,
They had a doctor, and because they was on, state insurance or whatever, in California, the doctor will pull up to you like, "What you need?
dope man.
Oh, you need, yeah,
Dope
you
man.
need this,
What
that.
you need?
I'll write you script for that. Woo, woo, woo." They like, we getting blood pressure medicine and everything. They like, you check your blood pressure? I'm like, what? Nah, boy, I'm
I'm good.
running around just, dumb to the brain. Just,
Right.
They like, once you start taking blood pressure medicine, you gotta take it the rest of your life. I'm like, what? Like, who? But that was them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, you
somebody had told
do
them
have to
that,
back
but
off. You
Yeah.
can't just go cold.
yeah,
turkey
like
with that stuff.
I was diagnosed with high blood pressure. I took the medicine for a little bit. As soon as I start dropping weight and running around and exercising, and next thing I know, I'm going to the doctor. They like, your blood pressure's too low now. So I'm like, man, I just got off the medicine.
Yeah.
It normalized. Because I was doing something different
Right.
than what I had been doing.
Right.
So, that told me right there, like, man, this medicine is good and it's bad. Some people will help,
Yeah.
but that's the
So
people
what
that
it was,
just take it.
Your blood pressure was high.
It was high.
And then when you took it, it went down.
Then
And then when you
when I
got
took
off
the medicine,
it kind of
Well, see, because-
when I took the medicine
Right.
and started a
Long-term
different pattern
Right.
of living,
yeah.
then it went too low. So that told me, like, something's off, like,
Right.
Yeah,
and then
that's another thing. Yeah,
they try to give me medicine to
responsibility for
put it
that.
back up then. I'm like, man, hold on. This
Yeah.
is something different.
Let go
Like,
what you get.
yeah, so I had to figure that out,
Right.
and I figured that out, and now I don't take high blood pressure
Yeah.
medicine no more. But it's certain, like, I went to the hospital, got my leg amputated, and because of that, my blood pressure was 180. One day I'm like, why my blood pressure so high? They like, maybe because of the pain,
Right.
maybe because of this or that.
And
They try to
and
give
you're
you
healing,
medicine
you
for
just want to
pain.
distract.
Right.
I took that a couple times, and then I backed off that.
Yeah.
I'm like, boy, this stuff is worse than the street drugs. It's little kids running around here, 15, they hooked on fentanyl.
Yeah.
Man, if you knew how strong that was, I done took it before.
Well.
So I'm like, woo, if I
Yeah.
can't handle it, I'm like, what a 15-year-old want to
Yeah.
be like this for? Like,
Yeah.
what joy do you find in that
Yeah.
to be like this?
Yeah, my show last week, man, had a pastor sitting sitting in the chair. It was there, and one of the brothers that was sitting back there had just got off of fentanyl. It was him and 2 other brothers, and they won't come back in here and talk about it. But he said he cooked cold turkey, and he said, bro, it was a struggle.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said he was on it, man. So they was just last week, you were talking about that, man. So, yeah. But yeah, man. So how was that? You said you had your leg amputated, man. What was that like? What was the process on that, man? I mean, how did you
Man, it
notice?
was-
How did you notice some stuff changing?
Well,
man? What happened?
because of diabetes, they say you get a sore, it takes twice as long as the normal person to heal that.
to heal, yeah.
A normal healthy person.
Right.
So I
And
ended
that's
up
because of the blood circulation, yeah.
Right.
blood
Okay.
circulation, just all
Right.
types. I don't
Or
know how they
lack
factor
of
it in.
blood circulation.
Right.
Yeah.
So I ended up getting a small little sore on my toe,
Right.
and take all to go away soon. Put this on it. Put that on it.
Yeah.
All to go away. Was it 3 or 4 weeks, a month, 2 later, still got the sore. I'm like, man, what's going on? Something. Well, we checked your blood flow. You're not getting circulation down there, which is causing this and that and this and that. Well,
Right.
ended up, long story short, I I ended up with another sore from a surgery trying to get more blood flow.
Right. And how were you then, man?
Shoot, I say I was 30 some,
You was
38,
young, man.
38, yeah, pretty
yeah,
much like
Yeah.
2013, 14 or so.
What was
And at first, it was a struggle. You know, don't nobody want nothing to cut off of you.
Well, yeah.
You know what I
Right.
mean?
100%.
But after I made it through that battle, like, all right, this is what it is. I gotta go. I gotta get on.
Yeah.
You know,
Gotta-
take it how it
gotta
comes.
switch- yeah.
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 You gotta switch your mind
Yeah.
frame.
Yeah. Yeah.
So after I developed that, like, shoot, man. Well, the doctor, like, man, that one time, I'm like, hold on, man. See, do all you can first before you just tell me this gotta go.
Start cutting.
Right.
Start chopping them.
So I didn't fight it. I end up getting a sore from trying to get more blood pressure.
Yeah.
Now I got another sore on I had the toe cut off. Now I got another sore on my calf that won't heal. So, you know, they do something more.
Right.
Well, we gonna go in here and root your veins out. They said I was born with small blood vessels and arteries, you know, some other type of disease. So
Right.
they ended up doing that. Well, you know, the sore started shrinking. It started healing. Healing. Almost to the heel. I'd say all the skin was covered up.
Right.
And it was this little hole in my ankle. Man. Ended up bone deteriorating. The lady just, you know, she put it on. Oh, she dug a piece of bone out.
She
was
dug
like,
a
your
piece of-
bones deteriorating. I was like, what you mean? Well, you got osteomyelitis. It's where your bone deteriorates, and it's like there's nothing else we can do for you. Like,
Right.
you know, you got to cut this off,
Yeah.
or you know, you risk your whole leg.
Right.
Wow.
You know, or it could crawl up, but you know, I'm like,
Yeah.
go ahead, take that off.
So it's
You know
gonna keep
what I
on
mean?
moving
Yeah.
up. Yeah.
I see people with one legs. I just started Googling.
Yeah.
Man, little kids, 5.
Yeah.
They with no legs.
Yeah.
They,
Yeah.
I'm like, people coming back from the war.
Yeah.
No lower body.
Yeah.
I was like, one leg? What? You mean to tell me I can't make it through not having one leg?
And they got
Man,
their whole
come on,
half
take
body
this off.
missing.
Yeah. Take this off.
Right.
So they ended up taking that one off. I ended up surviving. You know, everything's good.
Yeah.
You know, they like, you know, further down the line, this could happen to your other leg too. You don't want to take it off now? I'm like, nah, what you mean? Like, no, I don't.
Ain't that a trip?
You know?
Ain't
So-
that a trip?
Yeah.
Don't chop
They-
them in half.
Man, they want to just, it seems like okay, you got this. Well, in the long run, story short, you going to end up taking off. You want to take it off now? I'm like, no, I don't want to take nothing off. I already got one,
Already
dog.
got one.
Yeah, what I'm going to do it too. So fingers ended
Yeah.
up messing up,
Yeah.
you know, but,
Right.
you know, I'm just a warrior. So I just developed a warrior mind. Like, boy, ain't nothing going to set you down. Boy, you got to keep moving.
You gotta keep moving.
Can't sit down now.
Nah, man.
You know, continue to fight. You know how the boxers go back to the ring, they all beat up, they on the corner.
Yeah.
The man's like,
Yeah.
it's on them. Boy, you got to go back out there, boy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It ain't over yet.
Yeah.
Till you can't get up. It ain't over till you can't get up.
Man, like, get off me. I'm ready.
Right.
Get up. I'm ready to
Yeah.
go back in.
So that's the mind frame I developed.
Yeah.
So story short.
But you had to get there, though, boy.
Yeah,
Like, your
just
mind.
like a couple years later, this was in 19. I think I got this right one cut off.
Yeah.
So my left foot,
Yeah.
I ended up developing something on that where they took half my foot.
Mm-hmm.
So I still had half a foot, so I was trying to hold on to this one as long as I could.
Yeah.
I ended up getting a sore on this one, same type on this side as that side. And, you know, this time they asked me, you want to fight this?
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I don't want to waste another year.
Yeah.
Go on, take this off like you did the last one and let me go and recoup so I can get back to
Right.
being me and walking around and
Yeah.
doing what I do, man. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, so, you know, I
Yeah.
just asked God, I was like, man, if I got to let it go, tell me what to do.
Right.
You know, because I'm a kidney patient also.
Sure.
So that's because of the high blood pressure.
Yeah.
They told me, you know, diabetes will knock it out too. But I had high blood pressure for 6 months, running around like a little fool on the streets,
Yeah.
doing what I do. Wasn't
Yeah.
going to get my blood pressure checked or nothing.
Yeah.
Well, just throwing up. Just my mom every morning throwing up. My mama said, "Boy, go to the hospital."
Right.
I'm like, "Oh, it ain't nothing but that tomato sauce I ate last night." I read it was acid reflux. I got acid reflux.
Oh.
Just hate doctors.
Yeah.
So one day I was just like, man, I'm tired of throwing up. I'm tired of all of this. Went to the doctor. They said, boy, your potassium is out the roof. I don't know how you ain't had a heart attack. How you talking to us right now? I'm like, this is the second time I done heard this
You
before.
heard right.
Yeah, like I gotta start going to the doctor. I gotta start paying attention. Now you can't pay me if my finger, if the tip of this finger hurt. I ask him. I'm going to the emergency.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm gonna get in there and see what they gotta say first,
Yeah.
cause I know something's going on.
Right.
But they end up taking that one off, man, and you know that's where I'm at now, man. Just fighting the battle, man.
Yeah.
Just
And you're a young man,
yeah,
man. How old are you?
47,
47.
man.
Yeah. I'm
47.
I'm 44, and I was talking to JJ the other day, man. I was like, he was kind of telling me a little about the story. I'm like, man, I'm 44 years old. You know what I
Right.
mean? And I've heard some of the
Something to look
things
at.
like,
Yeah.
hey man, doctor said yes, all right. And then he like said, you have been on for the rest of your life. I'm like, nah, man, I gotta figure it out. And I talked to a mutual friend of ours, man, my man Chris, and he was like, man, why don't you call somebody? And he had me call her, and I was like, I said, hey, what do you think about this? She said, oh yeah, you need this, and this.
Turmeric, honey,
man.
you mix that in the bowl.
I'll go
hey.
a bit deeper than that.
Man,
Yeah,
she said the
I
tonic
can
with
understand
this.
it, but I'm just saying,
Yeah,
like
yeah. I was like,
my uncle's like
Okay.
that. He
Oh,
tell
really?
me,
Yeah.
he take cinnamon, take you a teaspoon of turmeric, take you some honey, mix it in, and drink that every day. And you know he's Indian blood, so he's on it.
Yeah.
You got to do this.
Yeah.
Keep your blood circulation. You got to do this. You
Yeah.
got to do that.
Yeah.
You know.
has that helped?
And like-
that helped, huh?
Like, yeah,
Yeah.
It'll help you.
Yeah.
You know, and if you think about it, what did the Indians and them do back then? You know, they was always
Right.
wasn't no Indian going to no quote
Well-
unquote a white man or
Right.
you know doctor
Yeah.
saying this and that.
Right.
It was all in the family. They gon'
Well, and most medicine derives from plants, right? Most of the medicine.
yeah.
It used to be.
Okay.
You know, I have a video on my YouTube and that has some information on it concerning the history of the present medication and programs that they have for us right now.
Yeah.
I'll say it that way.
Yeah. Pharmaceutical.
Right, because, you know, it explains how it actually came from evolving from being an actual naturopathic craft
Right.
where all the doctors actually had herbal knowledge.
Yeah.
That's where you would see back in the day where you see these different movies back in the day where you go to the doctor and they got bottles behind them.
Yeah.
You know, and so they'd hand you something, you
Yeah.
know, after you get finished talking because they'd already prepared something for that.
Right.
You know, and so
Right.
it was actually a craft, a different type of a craft. But now they've broken it up into segments where you will go get a diagnosis from the doctor. The doctor has a protocol which they have to refer you to a certain pharmaceutical, and it's across the board. It's about the same, you know, because throughout these years, you know, I will ask the clients. I would say, "Well, what pharmaceuticals are you on?" Same across the board most of the time. And, you know, then I go into more research, deeper research about that particular pharmaceutical and how it affects the body as
Right.
well.
Right.
In addition to the deficiencies that cause the illnesses and so on and so forth to come up with what is needed for the client. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right,
Like
for
that.
sure.
I had to do that for myself.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so it's been a beautiful journey. You know, it's been a beautiful journey. So I've actually, those individuals that agreed to work with me like that, they were my actual testers.
Yeah.
And so they gave me all the results, you
Right,
know, things
right.
of that nature. And then once they got their results, then like I said, majority of the time the family started coming.
Yeah.
And so that result was duplicated, then another duplication and
Right,
another
right.
duplication. And 20 years later, I am living proof, and many of us that have worked together are living proof that no matter what you've been through,
Yeah.
no matter how far your body have come as far as illness is concerned,
It can be
It can be
reversed.
reversed.
Yeah.
I mean, like for instance, I lost. Oh, excuse. I lost different, like for instance, like dental. Suffering different, dental things, and them putting the fluoride and the that amalgam in your mouth, and broken teeth and different things of that nature. It's like you suffer over time.
Yeah.
You suffer those things over time, and so whatever is the effects of it, you're going to get the effects of it over time.
Over
You
time.
know,
Yeah.
and so I had to actually start looking further, not just my skin. Okay, well, what am I ingesting? What's going in my mouth every day? What's going on my skin every day? What's going in my hair every day?
Right.
What kind of things am I washing up with? What kind of clothes am I wearing?
Yeah.
All those different things, and it just
process.
all pointed, all pointed back
yeah.
to that petroleum. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It is, because you wearing polyester clothes. You sleep on polyester bedding. You use petroleum shampoo, conditioner, all kind of lotions, and all kind of stuff, all petroleum based. Vaseline, the babies use the baby oil. Like he said earlier, the baby powder.
Baby powder.
You know what I'm saying? So we're bombarded with chemicals on a daily basis, not knowing that we're being poisoned.
And it's funny that you talked about the baby powder, man, because they just came up and said the talc,
cervical cancer
the talc
or
was
whatever.
bad for you. But it's like
Right.
they knew it was bad for you.
It's like
Right.
fiberglass. You know,
They
good
know
well
it-
if
they
you
know
get up
it's
in your
bad for you.
attic
And I talked to
fiberglass
one
get
girl,
on
she
you,
was
you
like,
gonna itch and get cut up under the
Right.
skin.
Yeah.
So that's soft tissue that it actually, imagine how like a woman powders themselves. It's going up into soft tissue.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And being drawn up
Right.
into you.
Absolutely.
And so it's cutting.
This girl was like, I'm fresh today. I put the powder on. I was like, hold up. I said, don't that powder cause cancer? She said, nah, baby. My grandma taught me years ago use cornstarch, and I've been using it ever since. So you like,
Yep.
well, cornstarch don't smell like baby powder,
Put some drops.
but
in
it does
smell
the
good
same
in your
effect.
butt.
Yeah, it's the same effect.
Yeah.
It does what the baby powder's designed to do, but without them chemicals,
Without the
like she
chemicals,
said,
yeah.
Yeah.
like
Shoot, couple
cornstarch
drops
are
of
natural.
body oil in there. And
Yeah.
So
all
it
of that.
was designed, cornstarch designed to draw out the moisture or whatnot.
Right.
things
Yeah.
like
I
that.
guess. Yeah. I didn't.
Interesting.
She just said that like
Yeah.
my grandma taught me a long time ago. I'm like, I just woo woo to how the thing pop up in your head like
Yeah.
like
And see, and even see, talking about people say big mama or grandma or whatever. Even talking about our grandmothers, man. A lot of times, we were growing up. Our grandmothers were a lot older than they are now.
Right.
Like grandmas now that are young.
Yeah.
And so they haven't quote unquote lived life. You know what I mean? And so they can't really reach back, because I'm sure you got a whole wealth of knowledge that you can reach back from, as far as as far as the herbs and stuff like that. As far as your grandmother, your great grandmother telling you about, hey, this is this and this is this. A lot of times, man, we just don't have that. And it's and
now they saying go to the store and get this. Yeah.
go to aisle.
That's because that's all they know.
Go to aisle number 2, section number 3.
That's
grab
all
2
they
of
know.
them, and that's
Yep.
all they know. And we just gotta learn, man. And it goes back to what you said, learning your body. And a lot of us are afraid to learn our body, because if I start to navigate my body, what am I gonna find out? You know what I mean? Like,
That's how my friend
labor of
was.
Love. It's a
Indeed.
labor of love. It
100%.
really is,
Yeah.
because it's fascinating.
Yeah.
I mean, if you let it be, like I would be telling people about like different aches and pains they be having.
right.
It's like nothing enters the body or leaves the body except for gas. It's gas. So beat that gas or whatever it is, and massage it out or whatever, and you are going to get flatulent, and it's the pain that's gonna be gone.
Okay.
You gotta move that pain around. People that got us scared about the pain are signals.
Yeah.
It's telling you something going on.
Right.
It's like when your stomach hurts, I gotta go eat me something to eat.
Right.
Well, if your heart hurting, it's hungry. Need something. It's something lacking in your heart tissue and that heart muscle What is it? Feed the heart. Same thing with the kidneys. Same thing with the liver. Same thing with any part of your body that is ailing.
Yeah.
You got to figure out what the root of it is. Say, okay, then what am I lacking? What do I need? And plug it in. So a lot of the things I facilitate and assist people, I call them plug-ins, because see what happens is your body is going constantly running code, and it's running a new code then.
Right.
So your body heals itself. That's what
Yeah,
we've
when
been
they learn
designed
that
to do.
code.
Right.
Yeah.
Your
You know
body
what I'm
will heal
saying?
itself. Yeah.
And so literally, once you get them plug-ins and you start doing a little better, your body start feeling better, and your ailments start to dissipate and different things. And it's not me doing it; it's your body getting what it needs, what it been asking for.
Yeah.
Period. And that's
Yeah.
the reason why, like with the obesity, you think you're fat, da.
Yeah.
No, you the most malnourished people most of the time because your body is
believe
calling
that.
for more and more and
And
more
you feeding it
food
something
and
else.
solids,
Yeah.
but you're not getting no nourishment from it, so your body's not getting what it needs. So it's like, that ain't what I asked for. Go give me some more. Go give me some more.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it never satisfies.
So since it's not getting what it need, you constantly got to feed that.
You feeling like
Feeding
that's
the
what you're
thought,
supposed to be
feeding the
doing.
thought,
You just
yeah.
going about it the wrong
Right,
way.
right.
Yeah, you just going about
Interesting.
it the wrong way. That's all. And then plus, as us, we getting close on time.
Yeah, we got for 7 minutes.
Well, especially us as adults, we are
six.
conditioned. Like I said, this is a society problem. It's
Yeah.
not a race problem. It's a society problem.
Yeah.
Because we are taught to eat 3 meals a day. 3 meals a day. Well, yo, old behind ain't moving around or
Right.
doing nothing enough to digest 3 meals
Right,
a day. So
right.
what is it? What's gonna happen? Majority of those things that you're putting into your body,
Gonna
those
sit on
3
you.
meals, they gonna sit on you.
Yeah.
And if you on medication, you're gonna be constipated. So every round of medication that you do not dispel out your
Right.
body. I don't want to be graphic.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I'm
right.
saying? If it don't come out, it's still in there.
It's still in there.
So you're packing more and more on a daily basis. So imagine how many pills are sitting up in most people's guts. On top of that, you know what I'm saying? That it's feeding off of those gases on a daily basis. That's coating the cell and programming the cells to mutate. And what is that? Go ahead, guess. What is it after that?
Disease.
There you go. Or cancer. You see what I'm
cancer.
saying? 'Cause
Yeah.
that's all that is left to happen.
Right.
It's a result of something. So we gotta look at what it is. Some people, I just feel like I'm being targeted. Woe with me. No, look at what's going on with you. You know what I'm saying? Be
What are you
honest with
doing?
yourself.
Yeah.
And then
Right,
love
that's what I had
yourself
to do.
wanna
Yeah,
reverse
yeah.
it. You
That's
know
what I
I'm
had to
saying?
do.
And if you want the time, make the time for yourself, because believe me, if you keep going the same road, you won't have that much time. And I be telling people that
That's
all the
facts,
time. It's,
man.
you the only you got. You can't replace you with nobody else.
Yeah. They told me don't eat nothing with sugar. Nothing with sugar.
Yeah.
Nothing. I'm like, what? Everything got sugar in it.
Or turn the
Use a substitute. I start reading up on the substitute.
Yeah.
Saccharin and all of that cause cancer, like she said.
Yeah.
So you telling me don't eat nothing natural, but to eat this stuff, you drink a Diet Coke, you got this in it.
Artificial and synthetic.
Right. Killing you. So it's just another way designed.
See, you saying it.
It's another way to design to get you off of this, to do this. So I tell people with diabetes, like, man, you can have sugar.
Yeah.
You just got to limit yourself. When you look on the back of that package and it say, you can have 3 cookies. That's 12 grams of sugar. You know what I'm saying? You look at milk, 1 cup, 11 grams of sugar. I start doing myself like that. Like, oh, no, I ain't going to eat 6 cookies.
Yeah.
But I'm going to have 3.
Yeah.
I might have 3 at one time. I might have 1.
Yeah.
1 in the morning, 1 in the noon, 1 in. I'm going to have them 13 grams, though.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Indeed.
And I ain't going to go overboard.
Yeah.
So I figured out doing that, it made my A1C levels of my diabetes, they, look good.
Nice.
Everything started looking better. Like,
Yeah.
you know, but the doctor will tell you, don't eat no sugar. I'm like, what? I can't have an apple no more? Man, you tripping. Like,
Yeah.
I can't have no vegetables, no fruit, because they got,
Yeah.
and I eat that stuff.
And that's a
you know
different
what I'm
type of
saying?
sugar.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not the man-made sugar.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's
Right.
natural out the ground shit. It was developed with this. It came from the ground, grown
Right.
with this sugar.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't nobody put it in there
Right.
for you.
Right. Yeah.
Didn't nobody put like your coffee.
Right.
Didn't nobody
Yeah.
add three spoons to that.
Types of sugars too, because you don't
Indeed.
have to get the cane refined sugar.
Right, you can get the brown sugar.
Right, or the turbinado, which
Yeah,
is raw sugar,
right.
it's not as refined, or you could get the
Like with salt.
agave.
Yeah, agave.
Agave, you know, the cactus.
That's what my people put in they coffee.
I put that in my
They don't
smoothie. I
use
put
sugar.
that
They
in my
put the
smoothie.
Yeah. So you know.
So it's ways around it. Like people they'll use the white little table salt. Use sea salt. Use Himalayan pink salt.
Right.
You know
Yeah.
the normal people don't know that though. But that's because ain't nobody telling them that.
Yeah. So real quick, we got a few more minutes. So you talked about heart disease and the heart being one of the functions that really get hit hard. How can a person strengthen their heart if they got a weak heart or things like that?
Oh, well,
how can that?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Because you know we spoke beforehand, so your gifts are associated with what we spoke about.
What we talked
okay?
about? Yeah.
So this is one of the strongest tonics that is made is the deep tissue tonic. It's really good detox for the whole body. It is assisted with people with all kinds of care. I'll put it that way, from the most lightest to the worst. You know, it also comes with the
Burdock.
Oasis colon
Burdock,
cleanse
yeah.
pills. Yeah, those are a couple right there because what we talked about before, that stuff sitting in your gut got to get out of there.
Get out of there.
Got to get out of there. So they come with the colon cleanse pills, so that'll also aid you with evacuating your colon, and so you'll be able to have more absorption of what you need. You know.
Yeah.
And we have the King's tonic here.
King's
now I was
tonic.
trying to stay within time, so we go. That's why I'm talking so fast.
Yeah.
Well, the King's tonic, you would call that the Jesus tonic,
The
okay?
Jesus.
Okay.
Frankincense and myrrh.
Jesus wine.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm an alchemist too, so I make the colloidal gold. And so when I read that story, you know, I'm a very literal person. I said, now, he didn't walk around with it in his pocket. It ain't nothing spooky. He was going to heal the sick.
Yeah.
They were sick from the top of their head to the soles of their feet. He needed an antibiotic. That's one of the highest antibiotics right there in your hand. It will renew your cells, take the old, what you call it, build up off your cells and everything. And within 3 days, you start looking dewy again.
Yeah.
Now do you
Yeah,
use sea
now.
moss and all of that stuff? Black
Yes, I
seed
do.
oil?
Yes,
Now, I got a friend
Yes,
that's
I
on the
bet.
sea moss.
All herbs is my friends. My library is about 150 at this point, you know, that I really know them. You know what I'm saying? And it's growing.
Know what they do?
Yeah, 'cause I always get to know them first. Now, this is what you asked about, too. That's the heart strengthener called Strong Heart. I was like, I sound a very literal person, so
Yeah.
I named it the way it is.
Right.
That is a heart strengthener. So that will actually help your body or your heart to strengthen so that it'll regulate itself.
Absolutely.
See, the body is made to heal itself. So
Indeed.
I got plug-ins. So
Yeah.
this part of the
Now you
plug-in.
could take these all together, right?
Oh yes, that's one of the beautiful thing about some of the herbs, you know. And I have research to make sure that I deal with the less toxic herbs because there's different herbs that do the same thing. And so I've got acquainted with the less toxic herbs because I know that those formulas are going to have to be taken with medication, so it can be taken with medication. Now for you, this is Happy Feet All Natural Miracle Body Cream. It's for circulation. It was actually developed for gout and athlete's foot, but later on, I was taking care of a client, and she had plantar fasciitis and chronic arthritis all through her body, and she asked me could she stop the blender. So she was rubbing it on her legs, and she said, my pain gone. Then she rubbed it on her foot, and she started dancing again, so I named her Happy Feet after
Straight
her,
up.
because they call her Happy Feet at the club.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she started going back to the club after that.
Said she back,
True
baby.
story, true
Appreciate it.
story.
True story.
But that does work for circulation issues, any kind of
She
different
back.
infections on the skin.
Now is it
Consider
Vita or
septic.
Vita?
Vita.
Vita
Like
Claire's.
vitamin, I guess.
Vita Claire's, man.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
so check that out. You know, like I said, that's topical. So it
Yes,
doesn't interact with
ma'am.
medications
Thank
or
you.
anything like that. And so you
go
really,
ahead.
should enjoy using that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I might hit you up for some more too.
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much for
So-
having me on, too.
Absolutely. So we got a couple minutes. Tell people how they can reach you and so they can connect with you.
It's best to reach me at Vita, V-I, V as in Victor, I-T-A,
Okay.
C-L-A-R-A, Vita Clara, Naturals, at gmail.com, or Vita Clara's Holistic Studio at gmail.com. And I also have a Facebook and Instagram as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, so
I'm
I
gonna
can be
look that up.
contacted in those different ways.
Yeah. Man, I think you should do some speaking somewhere, bro.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Right.
Man, I'll be
I
speaking on this thing right here, but in a
Man,
different way, you know.
can do it.
Nah.
I think a lot of people need to hear that, man. Cause that's tough, bro.
Yeah, I want to tell everybody too, man. You can check your blood pressure at Walgreens, Walmart, man, your local place, man. You can get out there and do it, man. It only take 2 minutes, man.
Indeed, yeah.
We got so many minutes a week we use for everything else, man. You just take that little time and save yourself a little trouble and problems by going to Walmart, man, or Walgreens, CVS, all them places, man. You can go right in there and stick your arm in that thing, man, and check your blood sugar.
Y'all the babies at the table. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm 52 this year.
Ah, well,
And,
yeah,
you
I'm
know,
a baby.
That's all I'm saying. Y'all the babies, and I want to see y'all make it to 52.
Oh, man, I'm trying my best.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? God willing, I'll be there.
for sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think the reason, and we about to wrap this up, but I think the reason why I wanted to connect with you so much because I lost my mother at 59 years old. She was 59 when she passed away in 2019. You know, so and then my father had cancer, so I'm like, okay, now I need to pay attention. You know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, let me, you know, I said, let me hook up with her and see what I need to do. You know what I'm saying? As far as dropping the weight and as far as getting healthy or whatever the case. I think that's
Okay, so
important
once you
for me.
take that round right there,
Yeah.
then you can make a report.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is a dose
You
a day,
know.
huh?
Yeah, because one of the beautiful things about this is I work with our community, and since we have built a system of distrust with each other,
Yeah.
everything I got have to
Yeah.
work when you first use it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it does.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
listen,
what's
man.
up.
Hey, everybody. This has been another episode of Street Therapy, man. Thank y'all for tuning in,
Appreciate
checking
you.
in for my beautiful guest, Mrs.
Thank
Ryder,
you.
and my
Thank you.
man Blinky.
Go Chiefs.
Go Chiefs, yeah. Thank y'all for giving me. Y'all be careful. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other, man. Peace. Love y'all, man. God
Thank you.
bless.